Today we are going to study about analysis of variance. Analysis of variance, you see here on the board, you can see this AN analysis, AN, ANO and VA. So, when you put the ANO and VA together, it becomes ANOVA. So, ANOVA is the way we go about analyzing the variances. Now, why do we need to analyze variance? Earlier on, we studied how to find differences of the means when there are two means to be compared, like males and females, do they differ on certain issue? And so, male and female, there are only two categories of the one variable called gender. But it is not always that we have only two variables. We have sometimes we have two categories, but sometimes we have three categories, four categories or even more in one particular variable. For example, when you talk about religion, now religion is one variable, but we may have Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists and some native religions and so on, so many different categories. And therefore, if you want to compare if they differ on particular issue, then how to find out the differences between these categories, and that becomes a challenge if you have to do with t-test, because t-test can compare only two categories of in a variable. Question may arise as to why not we compare two at a time, but that will increase the error factor. The type 1 error will increase considerably. We are allowed 0.05, that is the standard that we take for the error allowed, that is 95% confidence or 5% error that is allowed in doing social science research. But if we take two at a time and do several such comparisons, then we are going to have a problem, and that problem is explained in our lecture section of our class. So, please go to the lecture and see how the error increases considerably. So, now I must show you how the variances are seen. Here let us take an example. When you have to compare more than two categories, then instead of doing the comparison between the means of the two populations, we do comparison of the variances within more than two categories. So, how do you see that the variances can work? Now, variance means standard deviation square. So, when you square standard deviation, it becomes variance. So, we are going to take an example to see that. Now, for further explanation as to what is variance, how it is applied, please see our lecture notes. Here, let us take an example and see how the calculations are done, because calculation part you may find little difficult to follow in the textbook. Suppose, now let us read this example. Suppose you want to determine whether different dosages of caffeine affect performance on a 20-item English test. So, now what is our dependent variable and what is independent variable here? We have dependent variable as a performance on a 20-item English test, that we want to, that is a dependent variable. And independent variable, say, is a categorical variable where there are different dosages of caffeine. So, caffeine is our caffeine dosage is our independent variable with various categories, all right, different dosages. So, let us take for example how the different categories work. Let us take now here independent variable is a caffeine amount, dependent variable is performance. Sample 1 very large dosage, okay. Sample 2 has large dosage, sample 3 moderate dosage, sample 4 small dosage, sample 5 placebo. That means they are given something that is has no caffeine at all. Now, the explanation for why we should not conduct several t-tests is given in your lecture. So, that is what is mentioned here, but remember here there are 5 different categories here. Now, comparison of 5 different categories by t-test is not allowed, it will cause us problems. So, therefore, we will do analyzing the variances and then compare. So, let us take the next one here in the lecture. Please read the lecture to understand why we should not use t-test. Here is the performance chart for 5 dosages. So, here there are 5 dosages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, when you give a strong dosage of caffeine, here are the 5 students who scored the out of 20 point English test, they scored 16, 16, 14, 13, 12. Then strong dosage, we have the 16, 14, 13, 13, 10 and so on. Then there is moderate dosage, and then there is low dosage of caffeine, category number 4, and 5th category placebo. Now, all these dosages, these 5 students in each category, we have found the mean for each one of them. Mean is given below, the lower line has the mean here. So, we have here mean 14.2, 13.2, 12.4, 13.2 and 12.2. This is the mean for each category, and there is a grand mean. That means, you take all these scores and then you find the mean of all the scores, and that came to 13. Okay. This is our grand mean here. So, this is 13, and you can take the mean of the means and it will come to 13 also. So, that is the same thing. So, grand mean is 13, and now we are going to work with this mean. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to find the differences between the groups, group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much difference is there in each one of the groups, and how much difference is there within the group. So, difference between the groups, between 5 different groups, and difference within the group. The first group, what is the difference within the group? That is the standard deviation. What is the difference within the second group and the third group and fourth? So, we want to find the difference between each group like this. What is the difference between each group? And then what is the difference between different within each group, that is finding different within each group. This is what we did, finding difference within each group, and then between the groups, this group, this one and this one. What is the difference between the groups? So, first within the groups and then between the groups, and then we will compare the two. Okay. Now, let us go to the next part. Yes, here is a formula for the F test. This F test does this is called the Fisher's test. It is between group variance estimate divided by within group variance estimate. So, between groups, how is the variance, and within group, how is the variance. When you take the division between the two, that gives us the F test. Okay. Between 5 groups and within each group. Here is how the computation is done. First, let us find the total sum of squares, SST. Sum of squares, total sum of square. Okay. So, sum of squares is here, SST is equal to sum of x minus x bar the whole square, where x bar is the grand mean. So, x bar is the grand mean and x is the score. So, therefore, taking 1 to 5 samples. So, we have the 5 categories, each one we have to take. So, how will that be? The first item was 16, first student got 16. So, 16 minus the grand mean 13 square, 16 minus again the second one also is 13, 13 is the grand mean square, so on. So, we go from each item, like for example, let me go back to show you 16 minus 13 the whole square, 16 minus 13 the whole square, then 14, this 14 minus 13 the whole square, this 13 here, okay, and this 13 minus this 13 the whole square, 12 minus 13 the whole square, and like that you go ahead with all this, 16 minus 13, 14 minus 13 the whole square, 13 minus 13 and so on until this one, 10 minus 10 the whole square, 10 minus 13 the whole square, 10 minus 13 the whole square, and that is how we come up with this these numbers. Okay, now here we have. So, this is all done until 10 minus 13 the whole square, the last one, and then when you add all those subtraction squares, we will get total as 100. We keep that aside, that is called sum of squares total. Okay, total sum of squares. Now, let us go to the next one, sum of squares between groups. So, between the groups we find out, not within each group, but between 5 different groups. So, here the formula sum of Ng mean G minus mean whole square, this is square here, okay, whole square, where N stands for number of scores in each group. Each group has how many? If you look at each group, there are 5 in each group, and then mean G is mean of group G, that particular group's G mean, how much is the mean for each group. So, each group has a different mean, and so that mean we take into consideration. Then x bar grand mean, and then sum of, that is summation across all the groups. So, we take the total summation. So, SSB equal to here how many n's are there? Here Ng is the formula says Ng. So, that means how many scores in each group. So, that particular group has how many people? 5. So, here we have 5. Then we have here mean of that group, which is 14.2 minus the grand mean 13 the whole square, plus the next one again 5 13.2, that is the mean of that particular group minus the grand mean square, this is square here, and plus again grand mean the 5, which is the number of people in that group. Then the third group has the mean of 12.4 minus the grand mean 13 the whole square. Like that for all the 5 groups we do, and when you subtract and square and multiply by 5 each one, subtract the square and multiply by 5, the total comes to 14.4. So, that we keep aside, that is sum of square between groups. Then we have next sum of squares within group now, each group, that is SSW, that is given by sum of x1 minus x1 bar the whole square, x2 minus x2 bar the whole square, that is sum of that, and all the way we go to sum of xk minus xk bar the whole square. Now, what is the meaning of x1? x1 means score in group 1. So, what is the score in group 1? Minus the mean of the first group. Okay. So, mean of the first group. So, that particular score minus the mean of that group square. x2 will mean that particular score minus the mean of that group, the mean I should put here bar, mean the whole square, and so on until the last one. K stand for the last group minus xk bar, that is the mean of that group square. So, the whole lot. So, here we have first sample, which will have 16 minus 16 is the first score in the first group minus the mean of that group square. Then the next number also is 16. So, 16 minus the mean of the first group 12.2 square, then plus 14, the third number was 14 minus 14.2, that is the mean of the first group square. You keep on going from first group, then second group, then third group, fourth group, and fifth group. The last two numbers are given here, 10 minus the mean of the last group 12 whole square, plus 10 minus the mean of the last group the whole square. When you take addition of all those things, it comes to 85.6. That is within group variance, okay, squares. So, we have there, and then we move on to the next one. So, therefore, sum of squares total, which we calculated first, which is 100, is equal to sum of square between, which is 14.4, plus sum of square within the group, which is 85.6. So, when you add these together, we get 100. So, our calculation is correct, that is what it means. So, we calculate these 3 things, and then our calculation happens to be correct here now. Fourth step, now finding the mean squares. Mean square means this is how we work with the mean square. Degrees of freedom first we find between groups. So, degree for let's go between groups, that means we find out how many groups we have. So, k is the number of groups minus 1. So, we have 5 groups. So, 5 minus 1 will give us 4, that is this number here 4. Okay, 4. Then we have here degrees of freedom of within groups. That means how many total number of people we had in all 5 groups, that is n minus the number of groups. So, that gives us this is what we are talking about, degrees of freedom within groups, which is total number of people 5 groups, 5 times 5 25 minus 5 groups. So, 25 minus 5, which gives us 20 here. Okay. So, that is what we have. Then now we are finding mean square for between groups. So, mean square for between groups, that is MSB, equal to SSB divided by degrees of freedom of B. So, sum of square of B, we know sum of square of B is 14.4, that is here, see here 14.4, and that when you take here divided by degrees of freedom of B, that is k minus 1. So, k minus 1, that is number of groups minus 1, which is 4. So, divide by 4, we will get 3.60, and MSW, that is mean square of within group, which is SSW divided by degrees of freedom W. SSW we know here, SSW is 85.6, and that 85.6 is taken here divided degrees of freedom for W, which we found out as 20 here, So, that 20, when you divide we get 4.28. Now, what is the next step? Next step we want to find mean square. So, that will be the next step here mean square. So, F is equal to MSB divided by MSW. MS between groups, we found out mean square between groups 3.60, mean square within group 4.28, divided we get 0.84. Now, we go to the check with F table. Now, if you read the lecture for analysis of variance, the table is given at the end of the in the appendix of the book, and I think page 705 if I am not mistaken, but please check carefully the number for F table, in which we have on top we have degrees of freedom numerator, that means MSB. What is the degree of freedom from MSB? That is a numerator. And for the denominator degrees of freedom, that is MSW. What is the degrees of freedom? MSW. So, that we go on the left side. So, this side is, if you look, this is degrees of freedom denominator is MSW. So, if you look at the previous page, yes, MSW degrees of freedom are 20, here degrees of freedom for W is 20, degrees of freedom for between groups is 4. So, 4 and 20. So, when you look at that you can see here 4 in the numerator, because between is a numerator. So, 4 along this side and 20 along this side. So, 20 this way and 4 this way, and so you look down here and you will find that there is number 2.87, which is for alpha is equal to 0.05. Okay. So, for 0.05 alpha is equal to 2.85, and if you look at this 2.85, this is our table value. So, this is called the table value, from the table we got it, table value, and our calculated value is 0.84. So, our calculated value is less than the table value. Therefore, what do? We accept the null hypothesis, retain the null hypothesis. 0.84 is less than the table value of 2.87. Therefore, we retain, that means we accept the null hypothesis. What does that mean? That means there is not sufficient evidence to believe that population means of the 5 samples are significantly different. That means the means of the samples are not different, they are similar, because we accept the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis says that all these values of the 5 different groups, the means are all same. But we did not compare the means, we actually compared the variances, but make the conclusions for the means. So, that means, in other words, we are saying that H naught is saying that mu 1 is equal to mu 2 is equal to mu 3 is equal to mu 4 is equal to mu 5, because there are 5 groups. So, we are saying that these are all same, the means of the populations of all 5 samples are same, and we have come to the conclusion, yes, they are same, there is no significant difference. So, whether you take large dose of caffeine, moderate dose or placebo, your scores for the examinations are not going to be different. the English test scores for 20 items are not sufficiently different or not significantly different is the conclusion of this particular study. So, this is how all the variances problems are worked with, and please see them as examples in your textbook. They have calculated already, but this is what I wanted to show you here on this presentation. Thank you very much.